Welcome back to the English Podcast Studio. If you've made it to part 3, that means you're officially an idiom hunter, just like us. Or maybe you're just here to hear Sheldon freak out over figurative speech again. Also a strong possibility. Either way, in this episode, we are diving into more idioms straight from Young Sheldon, the kind that confuse even the most logical minds.
Today's idioms are fun, emotional, and a little spicy. Let's start with one that pops up in Missy's conversations. Spill the beans. Missy says this to Georgie when she suspects he's hiding something. Come on, spill the beans already. Meaning, to reveal a secret or some gossip. Not literally throwing beans on the floor, though that would also stress Sheldon out. It's informal, often playful, like when someone has tea and you want them to serve it.
Exactly. It's basically the same as saying, "Tell me what's going on." Next up, bite the bullet. In one episode, Sheldon's dad, George Sr., tells him, "Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and do it." This idiom means to do something difficult or unpleasant, even though you really don't want to. Historically, it came from soldiers biting on a bullet during surgery. No anesthesia. Painful, but necessary. Today, it's more like just suck it up and get it over with. Which Sheldon absolutely hates doing.
Okay, let's talk about hit the nail on the head. I love this one. It means to be exactly right, like when Meemaw says something brutally honest and everyone knows she's spot on. It's like saying, boom, that's exactly it. No nonsense, no confusion.
I think Sheldon actually appreciates this one. He likes precision. Here's another, go the extra mile. It's often used by Sheldon's mom, Mary.
Yes, like when she makes snacks for the church and bakes a pie for the neighbor on top of everything else. It means doing more than what's expected, putting in extra effort, and it shows dedication or kindness.
It's a very American cultural value too, working hard and doing more. This one's beautiful, a blessing in disguise. I think Pastor Jeff says it in an episode when something goes wrong.
Yes, when something seems bad at first, but it actually turns out to be a good thing in the end. Sheldon would never admit that chaos could bring anything good, but life is messy. This idiom reflects that.
Totally. Like failing a test, which motivates you to study better next time. You can't have a Sheldon conversation without talking about burning the midnight oil.
Sheldon literally does this. He stays up all night calculating probabilities for a science fair. It means to stay up late working or studying. A very nerdy idiom in the best way. And super relatable for students and professionals. We all burn the midnight oil at some point.
Let's wrap up with a classic, in hot water. Georgie's always in hot water with his parents, which means he's in trouble. He's done something wrong, and now he's paying the price.
Very visual idiom. Imagine being dropped into boiling water, definitely a bad situation. I love how idioms are emotional and visual like that. They help you feel what's going on. And that's a wrap for part 3. But don't worry, we're not done with Sheldon yet.
Another one, the jury's still out. I remember when Sheldon's mom said this while deciding whether a new church volunteer was trustworthy.
Yeah, this idiom means a decision hasn't been made yet. The outcome is still unknown.
Even though Sheldon would prefer cold, hard facts, life doesn't always work like that. So when someone says the jury's still out, they mean, we are waiting to see how it turns out.
Okay, total Southern classic. Not my first rodeo. Meemaw uses this when she's dealing with tricky situations. It means, I've done this before. I know what I'm doing. It's confident, sometimes sarcastic, very Texas. It's also a great way to show you're not easily fooled or overwhelmed.
Next, we are in the same boat. Sheldon says this during a school project with Tam, which is hilarious, because Sheldon never thinks he's in the same anything with anyone.
True, but this idiom means we're in the same situation, usually a difficult one.
Great one for students, co-workers, or anyone facing a challenge with someone else. You can't talk about Sheldon without mentioning ahead of the curve. He's way ahead of the curve, like on another planet. This idiom means you're doing better than average. You're more advanced or more successful than others. It's often used in education, business, or tech. A great idiom to praise progress.
Here's one I love. Cut to the chase. Meemaw uses this when someone's rambling. It means, get to the point. Very direct, perfect for when you're short on time or patience. Not a favorite for chatty people like Georgie.
Mary, Sheldon's mom, says this constantly. I've got a lot on my plate. Which means, I have too many responsibilities right now. It's a visual way to show stress or being overwhelmed, like your plate at Thanksgiving dinner. This idiom works in both casual and professional conversations. Super useful.
Let's go back to school with hit the books, meaning study hard. You'll hear this a lot before exams. Sheldon doesn't just hit the books, he devours them.
Definitely a good idiom for students trying to sound motivated. Or panicked. This one's funny when used around Sheldon. It's a no-brainer. It means, it's an obvious choice. You don't even need to think about it. Which drives Sheldon crazy, because he thinks everything requires intense thought. It's one of those casual idioms that makes you sound like a confident native speaker. Alright, we are not done yet, because young Sheldon is full of idioms that slip into everyday conversations, sometimes without us even noticing. Especially in scenes with Mary and Meemaw. I feel like they talk 50% in idioms, 50% in sarcasm.
Okay, so remember when Sheldon had to take the flu shot and he tried every scientific reason to avoid it? And then Mary just said, Sheldon, bite the bullet.
Classic. This idiom means, do something unpleasant or painful because it's necessary. You don't want to do it, but you have to, so you suck it up and do it anyway. You'll hear it in schools, workplaces, even relationships. Meemaw says this about Georgie once. Something like, well, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
And that usually means children are very similar to their parents in behavior, looks, or habits. With Sheldon, you can see bits of Mary's stubbornness and George Seostery's quiet intelligence, but he's definitely his own kind of apple.
More like an alien fruit from another planet. Another Southern-style one is barking up the wrong tree. I think Missy uses it when someone blames her for something Georgie did. It means, you're accusing or blaming the wrong person. You've got the wrong idea entirely. It's perfect for misunderstandings, and a polite way to say, you're wrong.
You'll hear this one in almost every Young Sheldon family dinner scene at the end of the day. It means, when everything is said and done, what really matters is.
It's a way to wrap up your opinion or summarize your point. Like, at the end of the day, Sheldon's still a kid who needs to go outside sometimes.
Exactly. It adds finality to your statement. Remember when Dr. Sturgis shows up unexpectedly after disappearing for weeks?
Totally. That was out of the blue. It means, something that happens suddenly and without warning. You can use it for surprises, both good and bad. She called me out of the blue. The fire alarm went off out of the blue. Super natural and common. This one's for George Sr. when he gives up trying to understand Sheldon's science fair project. I'm throwing in the towel. A boxing idiom. It means, I give up. You've had enough, and you're done trying. Useful when you're overwhelmed or defeated, but also kind of dramatic. So you know I use it often.
Here's one Mary uses when she praises Sheldon. You always go the extra mile. It means, you do more than what's required. You make an extra effort. It's very positive. Teachers use it. Bosses use it. It's basically an upgrade from good job. And definitely true for anyone who studies quantum mechanics in middle school.
Ooh, I remember this one when Sheldon wanted to only apply to one college. And Mary said, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Meaning, don't rely entirely on one plan or option. It's risky. If that one thing fails, you lose everything. So always have a backup plan. Alright, that was a lot of idioms, but you now understand 16 more real-life expressions you'll hear all over America. From Sheldon's logic to Meemaw's sass and Mary's wisdom, these idioms are woven into the way people actually talk. In part 4, we're getting into sports idioms, food expressions, and emotional slang, so you won't want to miss that. Plus, we'll talk about how using the wrong idiom can make you sound confusing or even accidentally rude. So subscribe, check out our playlists, and tell us in the comments which idiom do you hear the most in real life or on TV.
And remember, it's not rocket science. Or maybe with Sheldon, it is.